quick, when I say platformer, what do you think of? Some people may have thought of Mario, Crash, or maybe even Sonic. Maybe some people thought of something like Ratchet, Jak, or Rayman. There's a lot of options when it comes to the genre, so it's easy for certain characters to get overlooked. For example, I missed out on Rayman and Jak, but the big one that I'm referring to is...
What about the classics such as Gex, Bubsy, and how can we forget That's So Raven 2, Supernatural Style for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Dude,
oh god, no.
Hello there, I'm Dutchman, a ReviewYaLife, the only black man Shemp knows, and today we're apparently gonna take a look at a couple of games that... Oh, my bad. Go ahead and do your intro.
Hey everyone, it's me, Shemp, and today we're talking...
SpongeBob!
God damn it.
It's SpongeBob, right?
Yes, okay, we're looking at a couple of SpongeBob games, but I won't be doing this alone, unfortunately. Dub here is literally the perfect person for me to do this type of video with.
I am the cartoon guy after all.
Not really a title I'd be proud of, all things considered.
Says the Sonic loving furry over here.
What? Hey!
Oh, and before we get into the nitty gritty, am I allowed to say the N-word here, or...?
Jesus Christ, dude, we just started.
Oh, fine. This just got 10 times harder for me now. For those of you who don't know, I do little dumb wacky cartoon reviews on my channel. Some noteworthy, some obscure, along with some video game reviews too, whenever I feel like it. So like, of course, with a topic like this, it kinda goes hand in hand with my niche. So I had to hop on board.
So of course, the first one we're gonna look at is Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Oh yeah, the SpongeBob game. It's probably best that we do start with this one first, since literally everyone knows about it. Plus, the remake's coming out soon, so... Woo!
Now, let's preface something. Battle for Bikini Bottom came out a year before the first SpongeBob movie, so this game was given a lot of development time. There's really no records online for how long it was in production, but this game definitely doesn't feel rushed. I also like to mention that unlike everyone else apparently, I've never played this game before.
Dude, come on! If you were a kid back then and you grew up with a GameCube or a PS2, or knew that rich kid down the street who had an Xbox, you had to have played this game. When people think SpongeBob video games, they're always thinking about this one. Everything about it felt like a genuine SpongeBob experience. It was mainly thanks to the amazing atmosphere. Basically, you know how people say Hit and Run is the Simpsons game, and how it's amazing that they perfectly recreated Springfield for you to explore? Imagine that, but this little bitch.
With this being my first time ever touching the game, I have to agree. They really did nail almost everything about this world. It's really interesting how all the levels are structured as well. Like, you get enough collectibles to unlock the next stage, and when you enter and explore, you'll find like 3 other levels inside that one level, each with their own challenges and collectibles. SpongeBob also controls like a dream. The movement is very tight, the platforming is fun and imaginative, the other characters control really nicely and have their own unique quirks. Coupled with that is some great sound design that feels like everything is ripped right out of the show. I honestly can't believe I missed this game back in the day, considering how much I love good platformers.
I mean, Heavy Iron Studios made this. They're basically the SpongeBob devs at this point. Well, they had their hands at other third-party titles too. But yeah, I'm sure people were more fond of the SpongeBob games. I mean, it's not like people were lining up for UFC personal trainer for the Kinect. Have you even played those?
Maybe?
So yeah, big surprise. This game is probably the best one by far. If anything, the graphics are a bit washed out color-wise, but the gameplay is super tight, the level design is nice and full, and the original voice actors reprised their roles. Except for Mr. Krabs, for whatever the fuck reason.
SpongeBob, this flapping robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship.
Oh come on, really? Nothing can replace the original voice.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs.
I don't know, man. Maybe Clancy Brown was too busy doing something else to voice 6 lines in this video game, considering that he did voice him in the other games. Pretty big payday he missed out on, honestly.
So 2003 had its hand in several classics like the launch of Call of Duty, Tony Hawk Underground, Crash Nitro Kart, but among all those notable titles, it's pretty amazing that this one licensed Nickelodeon game ended up being one of the greatest platformers, according to a lot of people.
You wanna know what's not great?
What?
This piece of shit.
Oh god, this one. See, I may have not played a lot of SpongeBob games, but I know about this one.
SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman is the stereotypical licensed game. You know, the ones that companies outsource for with a cheap no-name developer that would just shit a game out for a quick buck.
I'm still a little out of the loop in the SpongeBob games universe. What's entirely wrong with this game?
Well, for starters, the game starts off with Gary opening a weird chest. The Flying Dutchman comes out and he's like, "Yo, what up?" And SpongeBob is like, "Gary did it!" Like, what the fuck? SpongeBob literally snitches on Gary the first moment he gets. You're gonna sit here and tell me that the same guy who apologized for being too ugly is gonna sell out his own pet without a second thought? Damn. I guess Gary come home was a fucking fluke.
Well, besides SpongeBob being out of character, Bikini Bottom is also extremely out of character. Nothing seems or feels like it belongs in the show. It just feels like the devs were given reference material and went solely off of that, not knowing how the show actually worked. Rock Bottom, for example, has these thugs and gang members walking around, which feels very out of place. It doesn't help that the level design and controls are god-awful. If I ever need an example of what floaty controls are, this game has me covered. It is astounding how bad SpongeBob controls, not to mention the horrendous combat. See, SpongeBob has access to these different costumes. Each costume gives you a new weapon along with a different music track, but you'll only be using the jellyfish gear since that's the only one that has any form of functionality. So that means get used to listening to the same song every level. But it gets better. If you do anything like finish a mission, talk to an NPC, search for my dad, load into the next area, fucking pause the game, the song restarts. So it's just one song for like 5 hours.
And like you said, the level design does not do it any favors. Just about every level is doing fetch quests from point A to point B. SpongeBob, I need you to deliver Krabby Patties. SpongeBob, I need you to go give these to Patrick. SpongeBob, I need you to touch my no-no. SpongeBob, I need you to go save Mermaid Man. I mean, damn, bro, can I just jump on some shit? Where's the platforming?
Now that you mention it, where is it? This game seems to be missing a lot of key features that go into this genre. I mean, there's enemies, but they don't really do anything. You could just run past them and they'd give you the same result.
And the platforming that is in here is some Bubsy 3D level shit. It feels like it was forced into the game without any second thought or creativity.
I think the funniest thing about this train wreck is that the PS2 version had a weird glitch where it would just corrupt your save data if you loaded into a new world from an old world or something like that. Thousands of people called the development studio, Big Sky Interactive, to complain about this game-breaking bug. They promised to fix it, and they went bankrupt the same year the game released. They made 2 games.
Are you kidding me? There's literally nothing redeemable about this game. Can't we just move on already?
I mean, the next game is still a disappointment.
Wait, what? Why?
It's the movie game.
Isn't that the good one? I remember it being just as good as Battle of Bikini Bottom.
A lot of people remember it like that. This is my first time playing it, and let me tell you, if it was considered good back then, it has not aged well.
Uh-oh.
So this game had Heavy Iron Studios back in the captain's seat, which is already a great start. It seems to be using the same exact assets, animations, graphic styles, and overall control as Battle. It came out a year after Battle released and a month before the movie came out.
Wait, what? Another game that went out of its way to spoil its own movie, like Revenge of the Sith and Avatar?
Yep, and I never really understood that. I got the idea of releasing the movie game before the movie to advertise for the movie. A video game falls in line with releasing figures and Happy Meal toys. But the game is literally just the plot of the movie. A lot of Spider-Man games did that too. You play the game, see the movie's plot, go watch the movie, and basically predict everything that's gonna happen.
I mean, if I remember correctly, the game gives you a very abridged version of the movie. The cutscenes are just screenshots dubbed by the French narrator, but most of the screenshots don't even look like it's from the movie. It looks like a lot of them were shots either in early stages or just straight up concept art. It's really bizarre. In fact, I've noticed that the entire game just feels rushed.
Yeah. Unlike Battle for Bikini Bottom, the movie game actually had a pretty strict deadline, and it shows. Don't get me wrong, it feels exactly like Battle gameplay-wise, but the level structure and overall design just fail in comparison. You no longer have big open levels to explore with levels inside. Now you just have straight linear sections, which is fine, but it just doesn't live up to its big brother. I've seen people call this game the spiritual successor to Battle, but I really don't think it deserves that title.
It's really not as fun as you remember it, guys. Most of the game has you doing these driving/sliding sections where at first it's pretty cool for the moment, but then they make you do it over and over and over again.
We mentioned earlier that almost every asset from Battle was used to make this game, even animations, but for whatever reason, the sound effects that the animations were made around just aren't there anymore, making the entire thing feel extremely out of place.
So, what's our next game?
Well, a coworker of mine loaned me his copy of his favorite SpongeBob game, which is Creature from the Krusty Krab.
Yo, that one is the one. That game is so good.
I mean, you're not wrong. This is the most imaginative game from this list so far. Easily the most unique licensed game I think I have ever seen.
Bro, you have no idea. Creature from the Krusty Krab is extremely underrated. See, instead of the platforming that you've grown used to, this game provides so much more variety. Literally, the first level is a drag race, where the style is heavily inspired by Ed Roth designs. It's very punk and cool, man. Hell yeah, anarchy.
Wait, what? Oh, hold on, what's going on?
Oh, my bad. Maybe I should explain what's going on. See, in this game, you'll be playing through the dreams of SpongeBob, Patrick, and Plankton. You'll be switching characters periodically, and each time you switch, the gameplay switches too. Like I said, SpongeBob starts off with a drag race and a few platformers. Patrick's a superhero while everything is in a comic book art style. Plankton switches it up a bit. Sometimes you'll be doing Crash Bandicoot boulder levels but with a burger, or maybe you'll get giant and destroy the city Godzilla style.
Really? All that variety? Is this another Heavy Iron Studios game?
Actually, no. This was made by Blitz Games. They're not really known for putting out much gems, but this game is a worthy exception. The inspiration is definitely there from the Heavy Iron Studios games, which isn't a bad thing. Why fix something that isn't broken?
This game really does control really well, minus the driving section. It kind of feels like the movie game's driving mechanics, just a bit too loose. But it's really not a big deal since the tracks are designed around these controls.
Now I know you're not leaving at the music, bruh. Why is this SpongeBob music slapping so hard? Yes, Battle of the Bikini Bottom has some good music. It was catchy and it fit the game. But this stands out so much from the crowd. I would have never expected this much funk or bass to be coming from a series like SpongeBob.
While I didn't get much time with all these games, I feel like this is definitely one I'll be going back to on my own time. I may do a video comparing this and Battle for best SpongeBob game.
I wouldn't do that, man. BFBB fans are not the fans you want to piss off. And you thought that Sonic fans were bad?
I'll take my chances. I'm kinda used to upsetting fan bases.
Well, your funeral. But hey, if Shemp dies, that means that all of you guys will head over to my channel, ReviewYaLife, where I just find the excuse to say the N-word for a majority of my videos. I promise, you will be disappointed.
Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you, Dub, for helping me out with this video. I'm really glad I got to play these games and look forward to giving some of these games their own dedicated videos. Be sure to check out Dub's channel and let him know that Shemp sent you. With all that said, I'll see you all in the next one.